Okay, I have modified the rear axle on my 1/18th EXC temper. I took off the bumpers and shaved down the axles and filled in some little holes that were there when I shaved it down that I kind of created, and so I fixed that with some Gorilla Glue in this process. And in my shocks, I put a lighter weight oil in my shocks. Need to change the springs out to a lighter spring ratio for rock crawling. And I took the big bar off the back and did something a little different on the back axle. Just some easy, simple little mods to my 1/18th EXC temper. I am currently working on the front axle now. Got to kind of do a little shaving and trimming there, and same way up here on the front part. And another thing that you need to do that they didn't do is make sure you put the blue marine off-road grease in your axles for the 1/18th EXC temper, because there was no grease in these axles at all. I found that out just as soon as I cracked them open. So that's something you might want to look into, just as a simple precautionary mod. I even put some grease in the transmission as well as one of my precautionary mods. I'm even going to do the same in my servo. Sorry about my workbench looking like a mess, but that's okay. I can find stuff easy like this for some reason. And here's another build that I'm working on off camera. I will let you see more of that later. I've got the transmission done, got the radio box in. As soon as I get other stuff in, I will let you see what I've got going on there. And then I've got my slash kind of tore down over here. I got MIPs. I got to do a little work on the rear. I keep losing wheel nuts off the back compared to the front. Front stay on, it's just the rear wheel nuts keep flying off, and so I gotta kind of fix that. As you can see, I've got the front ones on correct. I've got the rear hex on wrong, so I gotta flip it, and maybe that'll fix my problem. And so we'll see about that. And then, on top of all this, I have a micro trail tricker body that I've been kind of modifying and working on. And let's see, here's the wheels and tires that I will be using. Some of Mickey Tops and Baja Claw. And let's see what I do with my truck. I've got that little fella here somewhere in all this mess. Sometimes it's easy to find. There he is underneath this guy. For Project Micro Frankenstein. I changed out the original metal frame for a XMC V3 frame, in which I had to make my own kind of body mounts. A lot of hot racing parts went into this, and I've still got some. I got a Traxxas servo in the front. Some parts are still stock Losi, and some are not. So we are still good there. So that I just gotta get some stuff going there and get my battery tray going, and get my on off switch mounted to the frame rail here somewhere and get my battery charged up and get my rear mounts mounted for the body, and that one should be good. And as for my 1/18 Latrax SST, I've got a couple of parts that I need to order, which would be that little brace right there, 2 of them, and the body mounts. And I should be done with it, but I've already got a lot of upgrades here and there as far as A-arms and C-hubs and hubs and rear hubs, shock towers and shocks, all are from GPM Racing on that guy. And then I have a micro desert truck that I call Micro Juggernaut that I've kind of been working on. I've got to replace a little plastic bar over on this side. I'm pretty much done with it. Now here's a body I painted for the SST. Got that looking pretty decent. I could probably use something back there in the back. I'll think of that later. And I've got another little truck. Trying to figure out what I did with him. It is another little short courser, 1/24 scale. There he is. I gotta do some shock work on from Losi. This is the SCT, not the SCTE, but just the SCT. I've done a whole lot of aluminum upgrades. I gotta do some shock work now. I've got one of them fixed up, and I just gotta finish doing some work with this one, and it should be good. So that's kind of where I'm at on most of my RCs. And if you're wondering, yes, I do have a car in a Coke can, RC mini RC car or race car in a Coke can. I got that in another room right now. My brother got me this for Christmas one year. Comes with everything that you would need, like little cones and stuff like that, and paperwork. I've got everything to it. Got other stuff to it, a controller, card, all over in another room. So that's pretty much where that is. And now I've got a body that I want to use on that build, actual AXIAL build. Is an early 50s, well, paint job. The blue and white came out okay. It's the orange that didn't really do as good as I was hoping it would do. The blue and white was from Duratrax. The orange was the Tamiya, or however you say that name, paint. And I don't like the Tamiya paint. It don't do it. It just don't do right. Unless you want to go with unless you're going to do a transparent mix. But if you're going to do something like a solid, like your blues and your whites, stuff like that, go with the Duratrax or other brands, but please skip the Tamiyas. I'm not a fan of the Tamiya paints. I mean, other people might like them. I just ain't had much luck with them, and that's just one of my problems with them. They don't, no, that don't look right. But, oh well, for Project Junkyard Dog and that build, That's just what I've come up with. Of course, it looks a little sloppy, but that's Project Junkyard Dog. So that's it for me for now. Thank you, and have a great day.